tell a friend to tell a friend. She's back. If this is your first time here, let me get my intro out the way. Hey y'all, it's Nay. Welcome back to my little corner of YouTube. This video is a labor of love. So I really hope that y'all enjoy it, because when I say labor of love, listen, I mean labor of love. In honor of Love is Blind hitting a milestone 10th season, I have a couple of fun videos coming up. Things that are outside of the normal realm, but are celebratory in nature, because we've been here for 10 seasons. I've only had a YouTube channel since like season 4 or so. Has it even been that recent? Girl, I don't know. Go look at the old videos and see how long I had the channel. Anyway, I haven't been here since season 1, but I have been a viewer since season 1. For this video, I rewatched almost every single season of Love is Blind. And I didn't have to rewatch season 9 because it just happened. I didn't really have to rewatch season 8 because it's recent. But anything 7 and before, I had to rewatch because I don't remember them people. I didn't want anybody else's opinions on who they thought the villain was, what are the reasons they gave for the person being the villain. So I really needed this to be my own point of view. So yeah, I had to watch all but 2 seasons of Love is Blind. All the pod episodes. All 12, 13, 14 episodes, yes. I've been on a watching spree. That's what I've been doing on my break. If y'all wanted to know, I've been watching Love is Blind from the beginning. You are about to hear my thoughts on the biggest Love is Blind villains from seasons 1 through 9. But of course, I want to hear yours, so feel free to drop your thoughts below if you do want to participate in the conversation, and give this video a like and a hype before you go. So let's take a walk down memory lane, a walk down the pod's hallway. We're gonna go all the way back to season 1. Now for this season, we're gonna have a main villain, but we also have a runner-up. And as you'll see, a lot of the seasons have runner-up villains, because sometimes I just couldn't pick one. For one of these seasons, what was it, season 7 or season 8 or something, it was a mixed bag of villains, okay? Now for season 1, Carlton is definitely gonna be the runner-up villain of this season. Now if you don't remember Carlton, he got engaged to Diamond, and they didn't make it past the honeymoon, because during the honeymoon, he came out to Diamond that he was pansexual. He didn't hint at it in the pause. He didn't tell her in the pause, nothing. She didn't find out until this honeymoon. And they had a falling out because she was like, yeah, I would have liked to have known that before you got on a knee and proposed to me. I would have liked to know that the person I'm going to marry is pansexual. And he was like, well, I don't see why it matters. See, this is why y'all black women, well, I don't know if he actually said that, but he said something along the lines of, this is why, you know, I don't tell black women this kind of stuff, like something like that.
This is why I don't deal with bitches like you.
Oh, I'm a bitch now. You gonna call me a bitch in my face?
Clearly realize that this is not the woman for me. She has proven herself to be ignorant. She has proven herself to be stereotypical. I feel betrayed just as much as she feels betrayed.
And then when she had a strong reaction to it, he had the nerve to act like she was overreacting, when it's like, you never told her that. That's something that someone has a right to know. I'm not saying that she's judgmental or she's homophobic or anything, but she has a right to know that she like men. Like, y'all gonna be walking down the street, she gonna say, that man kind of cute, and you gonna look and say, that man kind of cute too. Like, she needs to know that up front, hands down. And look, that might be a hot take. Some of y'all might think that's homophobic. I think someone could be an ally of the LGBT community and still only want their man to be completely heterosexual, or still only want their woman to be completely heterosexual. That's just my take on that. But where he really becomes the runner-up is for the way that he dragged her. After she didn't react the way that he wanted her to react, he dragged that woman every which way but loose. He said her wig was sliding, which it was. But like, why'd you have to say that?
Bye.
Kids, look,
And
watch
fix-
my ass to the next dick,
No,
boy.
watch your wig, because it keeps sliding. It's been sliding since day one.
You the fuck do you think I am?
Your wig been
You
sliding
ain't
since
married
day
to no
one.
average bitch, boy.
Peace out.
Shut the fuck up.
Peace out.
Fuck. Oh, you so fucking. Ooh.
You mad because I'm telling the truth.
And look, I can't lie to you. The drag that he gave her was very gay man coded. You know, like, I don't know, if you spend any time around gay people or around drag queens, which I have, you know, if you're from LA, you've been to West LA on a Thursday night to the Abbey, then you know what it is. You know what it sounds like when people are reading someone in a gay way. That was a very gay man read. Okay, he read her. Talking about her wig sliding is something that a gay man would do. So that makes him a runner-up, because he didn't have to drag that woman like that. But the person who is taking the #1 spot for season 1's biggest villain is Jessica. And girl, you almost got away with it, because I had forgot who you were completely. And that's why I wanted to rewatch everything. I completely forgot how bad this woman had been in season 1. This is season 1 we talking about. From the pods, Jessica was moving funny. So she was in between Mark and Barnett. She ended up wanting Barnett more, and then Barnett said, yeah, I'm not really feeling you that much. I'm gonna go this other way. And so she ran back to Mark and said, you know what? It's really been you all along. I didn't really want Barnett. And then she tried to say that Barnett had confused her and made her pick him or something weird. She tried to spin it in a weird way, as if she was forced into choosing him. And when they got to the honeymoon, she continued with the foolishness and tried to say, in a sneaky way, you know, Barnett would be a better man had he chosen me.
If Barnett and I continued our relationship outside of the pod, you would see a totally different Barnett, an introspective Barnett, a sophisticated, you know, holding himself high Barnett. It would be complete opposite of what you see with him and Amber.
And every single solitary chance that she got to flirt with Barnett, she took it and ran with it. And she personally was so surprised to see Barnett with Amber because she just didn't see them as being a good fit. Like, you know, she hung out with Amber in the women's lounge and she just didn't see what Barnett saw in her, really. So she thought she was the better woman, and she was basically trying to be like, Barnett, you know I'm the better woman too. And Barnett would not bite. And then when Barnett called her out about the fact that she clearly still had feelings for him, she was like, huh? Who has feelings? What feelings? Not me, not I. Watching this back, I was really surprised to see that the gaslighting began as early as season 1. I could not believe it. And when I looked at this, it was very clear that she definitely wanted Barnett to be having as bad of an experience as she was having with Mark, because again, Mark was her not even a backup. She didn't like the man, point blank period, especially after she saw him. So she wanted Barnett to also be like, yeah, this wasn't the right choice, so that they could run off into the sunset together. But he would not give her the satisfaction, would not give her time of day. She was like, what about you? Are you happy? And he was like, I'm chilling. I love Amber. And I love that he never gave her the satisfaction.
So how are you feeling about Amber? Is she everything you expected?
She's actually, it's more than I expected, so, which is good. She definitely gets me out of my comfort zone. Like,
You never struck me as the person that would go for Amber. And it's
You told me that a couple
weird to
times.
see it all come together. I'm like,
You told me that a
holy
couple times.
shit. Do
we
you
both
feel
have
like you
pasts and
guys are
stuff.
emotionally connected?
On top of that, it got wusser and wusser. Because at the bachelorette party, Jessica goes up to Amber and starts making a fool of herself again. And then she kissed the woman.
I'm gonna go after your dude. You and your dude, and I know you. I know you, baby. I know you. And I saw you and your baby. And I saw you guys you were so perfect. I'm in love with my fiance.
Low-key, I feel like she kissed her so that she could vicariously kiss Barnett through her. That's just what it gave to me, because she seemed like she was obsessed with this man. And when it comes down to the man who she actually chose, Mark, that was a whole other layer that really put her in the #1 villain spot. She kept saying that the reason she couldn't get there with him was because of his age, because they had a 10-year age gap. She was 34, he was 24. He kept saying, I'm quite mature for 24. And I know a lot of 23-year-olds say that, but some people actually are. I was not one of them, okay? I was very immature for my age. But when I looked at Mark and I saw the way that he maneuvered in the pods, and I saw the way that he carried himself as a man, and I saw what his family thought of him, he was mature for his age. Like, he really wasn't a regular 24-year-old. And regardless of the fact that if she thought it was the age or not, she knew his age in the pod. So it wasn't a surprise that he was 24 when they got into the pods. She already knew that. So to try to use that as a scapegoat after the fact was just, I don't know, kind of a cop-out in my opinion. It was clear that she just didn't like him.
I think Barnett is fucking sexy and hot and
What the fuck is
I'm
that?
just
You're
saying,
insulting me like that. Don't insult me like that. Are you fucking kidding me?
And she kept saying, oh, your mom's gonna be like, why is this 34-year-old woman trying to be with my 24-year-old son? And when she met his mom was like, I'm so happy that you're older than him because he needs someone older because he's more mature. And when it came to light that the mom was really like, yeah, this is kind of what he needs, she was like, oh, shit, I can't even use the mom anymore.
When he told me, I met this girl, her name is Jessica. She's a little bit older than me. I thought, oh, that's great, because a lot of the girls his age, they're a little bit crazy.
So then she had to start manufacturing other reasons for why it just couldn't work out.
I was expecting a bigger reaction on the age difference, and they didn't give it to me at all. No one has said anything negative, but I don't think anyone would to your face though, so, and it will happen.
When at the end of the day, she just didn't like this man. She was so physically unattracted to him that 2 weeks from the wedding day, they had to set up a date recreating the pods. So they just sitting in the middle of their apartment talking through a damn wall because she just couldn't stand to look at this man's face. And this one is kind of hard to explain, but it was almost like she was using her attraction to Barnett to fuel her attraction to Mark, or to try to manufacture an attraction to Mark. Like, she would see Barnett at an event and she would be all over him, giggly, happy, you know, her endorphins, dopamine, she getting dopamine hit from talking to this man. And then she would go back over to Mark and be all giggly and bubbly with him, when that's not how she usually was, and it's because she was flying high off of those endorphins that she got from Barnett, the person who she actually wanted.
I adore you. Love you the most.
Love you too. What's going on?
Nothing, baby.
And then at the end of it all, when she inevitably said no at the altar, she was like, I don't feel bad about it. So yeah, she wasted no time going in the Villain Hall of Fame. This one was a bit tough. Not because everyone was perfect this season, but because of the fact that in season 1, it was so obvious that Jessica was the villain. This one was a little hard. It was like, maybe this person is, maybe this person isn't. Now, this might be an unpopular opinion because I think most people would say that Shake was the villain of this season. And I hear y'all, but watching season 2 back, after watching 7 other seasons of this show play out, I think that Shake is a combination of right message, wrong messenger, and right message, wrong method of execution. All season, he was going against the grain of the experiment.
Do you like being on a guy's shoulders?
Yeah, you're up for the challenge, you can pick me up.
Yeah, but will I have trouble picking you up?
He did pretend to have an epiphany about it, but that was a lie.
How the hell am I the one who's like asking girls their, you know, like these kind of superficial questions? It's like, is this a reflection of my own body issues?
He also kept saying that he wanted this type of animalistic attraction to his future wife. And during the reunion, he said,
Love is not purely blind to me, but I want it to be partially blind. I want it to be, love is blurry. Love is blurry.
now hear me out. Is the man wrong? I think us fans, I could say it at this point, we 10 seasons in, I think us diehard Love is Blind fans can say that love is in fact blurry. It is. 9 times out of 10, I feel like these people see each other and it's like, ooh, I can't connect your voice to your face, or, oh, I just thought you would be this, or I thought you'd be that. We've seen that happen time and time and time again. Some people can get past it, most cannot. And I actually think we've had this conversation fairly recently. Sometimes it's just not there. Physical attraction matters, whether people want to admit it or not. It helps when the other person is attractive. Everyone always wants to talk about the Lauren and Camerons of Love is Blind, or the Brett and Tiff, but they both find each other attractive. So this never comes up. What happens when the person doesn't find the other person attractive? Love starts to get a little damn blurry. Growing the physical attraction where there is none initially is extremely rare. Dare I say less than 1%. It doesn't happen often. So 9 times out of 10, if it's not there initially, it's not gonna work out. So love is in fact blurry. Right message. However, I say wrong messenger because look at all the other things that Shake did.
I'm not physically attracted to her. It feels like I'm with my aunt or something. Like don't laugh at that.
It was like he was purposely setting out to embarrass her. And during the reunion, it came out that the things that he said off cam were even worse. And I say right message, wrong method of execution, because again, I do think that physical attraction is going to come into play and it does matter. But asking someone if they think you'd be able to pick them up at a concert is not the way to go about making that statement. It's just not. He also made a complete fool of himself during the reunion. And this season 2 reunion was one of the few times that I saw Vanessa Lachey give somebody what they deserved. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later about the 2 people who she didn't give what they deserved, but she let him have it. She was like, nobody wants to hear you talk. Actually, pretty much everybody on the stage was like, bruh, please stop talking.
Every woman here is beautiful. I think you're all beautiful. I'm not attracted to all of you. Unfortunately, the only one I'm attracted to is Vanessa. And I wish I wasn't. It's nature, baby. We're animals. We're animals.
No, you treat animals. We're human beings.
Oh,
There's a
we're
big
still
difference.
animals. Okay,
and I
Nick.
see now why you don't treat human beings.
Oh, damn, Nick.
I'm extremely uncomfortable right now.
So yes, Shake takes the cake. Say that 5 times fast. Shake takes the cake. Shake takes the cake. Shake takes the cake. Shake takes the cake. Shake. Actually, I can say it. Ha, did it. So Shake takes the cake for being the top villain this season, but there is a runner-up, and that's gonna be Shayna. Now, Shayna said yes to Cal when she knew that she shouldn't have, and she cried about it afterwards, immediately afterwards.
Why are you crying? I guess it's just like the idea of like being engaged again, and I just don't want to make another mistake.
Because they didn't agree on religion, which she knew up front, and she knew that's not something that she was willing to bend on, so I don't know why she said yes. She then ran back to Shane and was like, hey, are you still down, after already saying yes to Kyle, and that was the whole thing.
I just wanted you to know that I do have deep feelings for you.
It's like we wasted so much fucking time the last 2 days with not even talking. I wish you would have said that
No, I know.
days earlier now, and it's like you had the chance.
And when they got out of the pod, this 8-year vegetarian ate a piece of steak for her, which I don't even know why you would do that. That was dumb. His stomach was probably all kinds of toe up. All for her to leave him before they even make it to the altar because of the religion thing. And finally, another reason that puts her as a runner-up. She told Natalie, the woman that Shane actually ended up with, that if it didn't work out between her and Shane, that she had a friend for Natalie that she thinks Natalie would like. So she was trying to split them up actively so that she could get Shane. And then she gaslit Natalie and was like, girl, why would you tell your man I said that? You must be bored in your relationship.
Me and Natalie in our private conversation, I go, well, if it doesn't work out, I got a friend for you. Okay, it was joking around. I don't understand why she took that and threw it out of context and ran with it. I don't know if you guys are bored in your relationship, that you guys had to like throw me in there.
And it's like, girl, you tried to actively split them up. Are you cool? And then she called their relationship fake.
I feel like I'm being portrayed as a certain like villain in your guys' relationship, your guys' fucking fake ass relationship. No offense, because it is a fake ass relationship.
Which it might have been, but still. Moving on to season 3. Rewatching this season felt like a fever dream. Recognizing all the nonsense that went on in this season and then realizing, oh my God, this is only the 3rd season. What the hell? This show started to go sideways immediately. I think post-reunion, most if not all of us would say that Zanab is the villain of this season, because hindsight has never been more 2020. Watching this back and already having insight on the cutie situation, I now have the clarity to say that that was not the first time that she manipulated something that Cole said or did just to make him look bad. Her retelling of the cutie story compared to what actually happened was so drastically different.
It was like 2 p.m. We were still filming. I hadn't had a chance to eat, so I grabbed 2 cuties, like little tiny oranges that fit in the palm of your hand. And he looked at me and he goes, "Are you gonna eat both of those?" And I said, "Well, like, yeah, that's a serving." And he goes, "Well, we're going out to eat later. Like, maybe you should save your appetite."
Oh my God. If you have it, please air it. Please be almost 7 o'clock. Oh my gosh, the time is moving slowly. We can plan 2 weddings before this dinner reservation comes. Are you about to eat 2 of those?
Maybe. That's a serving. You okay with that?
You better save your appetito.
I've only had a banana
Talking
and
like-
a scoop of peanut butter today.
Big old sucker tonight. You only had a banana today?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Oh, I could
I offered
definitely
you
tell
a
you, but I
poke
probably
bowl.
shouldn't. I know you did, but we had that last night.
He asked her if she was bipolar, and some cast members were a little bit upset by that because they had been hearing from Zanab that basically he calls her crazy all the time. I think that it may have been a valid question because of how different her retelling of stories are and how erratic she seemed to move.
That's like insane because I talked to Matt like a couple days
not
later
insane.
about it.
Maybe we don't use the word insane.
And a lot of men do that to be manipulative. Some men will say, oh, my ex is crazy. But it's like, you never have proof that their ex is crazy because they're actually the crazy one. They just call everybody else crazy. I wouldn't label her as bipolar. I'm not going to label her as anything because I'm not her psychiatrist. I do think that there is something mentally going on there, even if it's just that she's a flat out manipulator. I do think that she is used to manipulating people. In my opinion, she manipulated the cast.
I don't know what to say, Zay.
The truth, you can start with that.
Why do you hate me, Nancy? What did
Because
I do?
Zenab is my girl.
He's like likable when you're watching it, and I just knowing what I know, it's I don't know.
I'll just say it. It was the tangerine thing.
Oh yeah, I'm telling her, are you
that
seriously gonna eat all those
He got
tangerines?
a girl's number at the bachelor party or something.
Yeah. And she manipulated the viewers because had it not been for Netflix putting that cuties clip at the end of that reunion, we would have never known that, oh, this girl be lying. We would have never known. And we would have all thought that Cole was just this bad guy that she made him out to be. I refinished this season feeling very gaslit by Zanab. Like, I feel personally attacked. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Zanab. Like, that's how I feel. Like, girl, you played me during this season. That's how I feel about it, knowing the information that I know now. And look, I know that editing comes into play. We talk about the edit that people get all the time on my channel, but editing can only do so much. And we need to be very honest about that. Editing can't make you say the things that you say. you said those things. Editing can only do so much. That's all I can say. Like, they can cut things up. They're not adding in bits of things that you say. Like, you said those things. Some of those things are flat out lies. We have proof that those things are flat out lies. And so, yeah, that's not an editing issue. Like, it's given at the end of Scooby-Doo when they ripped the villain's mask off and he's like, I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you melanin kids. Like, did I say melanin kids? Well, you know. If it weren't for you meddling kids, that's how I feel like Zanab is. It's like, I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for the cuties clip. You know, it's like that. If it weren't for those pesky Netflix producers, that's how I feel like this played out. During the honeymoon, Cole made a comment.
You do look like a different person now.
Do I? I don't think I do.
No, that's what you told me.
Sorry. I did tell you that.
And she goes, oh, so I look different to you? So that must mean you're not attracted to me. What are you trying to say? And he goes, no, you told me that you look different without makeup. You said you look completely different without makeup. I was just repeating what you said. Even that little piece, she tried to flip and turn it on him. And it's like, girl, he just said that that's what you said. And then she goes, yeah, I know. Well, if you know, then why are you trying to make it sound like he just pulled that out of thin air? You know, it's very gaslighty. In my opinion, just to set him up to make him look like a bad person. And she continued to do that for the duration of the season. She nitpicked every little thing this man said.
Zay said, oh, we had such a great night. I said, it was so good. It was so good.
It was good.
And here we are in all this trouble because I didn't say great. I said good.
She called his drink girly.
I can't with you and your little girly drink. And you're like,
a man can't like a cocktail? And she was constantly being passive aggressive to this man about itty bitty things. And at times trying to insinuate that he didn't like her because she wasn't white. And I'm not gonna lie to you, he absolutely cooked her when he said this.
I proposed to a girl named Zenab. Do you think I thought Zenab looked like the girls I dated in the past that were named like Lily? No! You and I have recounted this situation time and time again on an airplane and in Malibu.
Because girl, in what world is the name Zanab a white girl name? That's very clearly some type of Indian descent name. Or Middle Eastern or Armenian, I don't know. It's Brown. The name is Brown, okay? That's not a white person's name. Your name is not Rebecca. I feel like at the time of filming, during the time of filming, she was very insecure. And because of that, she constantly felt triggered by Cole when he actually wasn't really doing anything. It was just her insecurity playing a part. Or she is just flat out manipulative. I still don't know which one it is. I think it's a combination of both, actually. She always tried to paint a picture that she wanted the relationship to work more than he did. But there was a point in time when they were in their apartment and they were talking about, okay, after the show is over, we're gonna have another wedding, because she was from somewhere in the UK. And he was saying, okay, we'll go back to your hometown and we'll have a second wedding with your family. And he was really excited about it. Like, how can we get all the family together? And she was like, well, you know, it'll be really hard to get everyone together, so I don't know. And then he was like, that's okay, we'll make it happen. And she was like, yeah, but the only way it could happen is if we get all of them together. And he was like, that's what I just said.
After we're actually married, we should go to the Middle East.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep
you said
you
they're
like
in
a
Pakistan.
I'm not
Wait,
gonna
no,
keep-
they're not in the Middle East. They're all in England.
It'll have to be a world tour to catch everybody. I think we'd probably just do it in my mom's hometown, which is where all my cousins and my aunts and uncles live.
So that doesn't sound like a massive undertaking.
It wouldn't be if we were having like a reception in England.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Sometimes I wonder if you hear the words that I am saying.
You already know I don't listen half the time.
And she was just constantly doing stuff like that, like trying to make it seem like I don't know. You see the clips, you see what I'm saying. Now, during one of the mixers, Cole and Colleen did have a moment where, you know, they exchanged words, something along the lines of, I think you're attractive and I think you're attractive. Now, they did date in the pods, okay. Stuff like that can tend to happen. Right or wrong, whatever. It was a moment that they both had. But it felt like the heat and the wrath that Cole got from that moment was so much more compared to what Colleen did not get. And I mean from the entire cast, because again, I think that Zanab was manipulating the cast. And look, I'm not trying to label her as some mastermind, but she's a good manipulator. I gotta give that to her. She had the whole cast going against, cause this man was crying on stage saying, I don't know what I did. I'm trying to understand, like I wanted to be there. I'm trying to understand what I did wrong. And the whole cast was like, you should have never told Colleen you found her attractive. Meanwhile, Colleen said the same thing to him. And we ain't even gonna get into Colleen, cause this is not that video. Maybe I'll do that in another video. But if we gonna talk about the relationship that Colleen was in, she was sitting on that stage looking terrified of her man, and they're not even together no more. So who knows what happened there. But she didn't get any of the heat for that. And I know that this is a strong phrase, but I really do think that Zanab ran a smear campaign against Cole, and I don't know why. Most of the things that she is against him for, I felt like she made it up in her head. So the smear campaign just felt like that, a smear campaign. I talk about this all the time, but people significantly overuse the word gaslighting. But that is what Zanab was doing to Cole. She had him thinking that he was crazy. She had him thinking that he was misremembering events. Maybe I did say that. I don't know. If I did say that, I'm sorry. When in my opinion, it wasn't like that. So yeah, she's a gaslighter, master manipulator. Moving on to season 4. This was the season of the mean girls if I ever seen it. We wear pink on Wednesdays, okay? Several villains in this season, and they're all women. I can't deny it. Irina and Micah, frick and fucking frack. They come as a pair because those two together were just terrible people. Luckily, Irina didn't make it too far out of the pods because Zach came to his damn senses. So we didn't have to put up with her for too long, but in her very short-lived time as a part of the main cast, she definitely left a mark. She talked about the fact that she had insecurities growing up. She had childhood acne. It had her feeling at the time when she was a kid, feeling really insecure about herself. And it was very clear throughout this season that she did not let those securities go yet. She should have gone to therapy before going on Love is Blind. 100%. I think those insecurities that she held as a child turned her into a very mean and cold-hearted adult. She's a mean girl. She is. She's the very definition of what a mean girl is. Just call her Regina George. She even told Zach that she had a hard time accepting compliments. That's tied to insecurity, and it's because you don't believe what the other person is telling you about yourself. And so instead of saying, oh, thank you, I appreciate it, you say things like, oh, no, stop it, or like you just laugh it off nervously. If you're not insecure, you don't have that. If somebody tells you you're gorgeous and you know that you are, you're going to say thank you because that's the normal reaction. Either that or you're just humble. There are some countries where people are just humble. They don't take compliments. Now, if you don't remember Irina is the woman who, like I said, Zach chose originally before he came to his senses and chose Bliss. And they are still together today, and they just had a baby and everything. They're one of my favorite Love is Blind couples. Irina had it out for Bliss since day one, and Bliss always lived up to her name.
You're trying to sabotage my love life? Me? Just kidding. What? Why?
You could never.
I will never do anything on purpose to hurt you. I promise you that,
so
okay?
sweet.
Like, it's never gonna be anything on purpose.
And just a few more examples of Irina always being mean since jump. When Paul broke up with Amber, Irina and Micah were giggling about it. Hee hee ha ha kiki. They were spying on a private conversation that Amber was having to try to sort out those feelings. They were giggling when other people were having issues in the pods. Irina also didn't remember Zach's birthday, and when she found out that Bliss was baking Zach homemade cupcakes for his birthday, she tried to say, hey, can I have one of your candles?
I have a huge favor, and if you want to say no, you can say no.
Okay.
Can I have one of your candles?
What?
I'm not going to bake anything, but can I have one of your candles?
Did you think of something yesterday?
Well, then, like,
I don't really, I feel like that's just like icky.
If you're not thoughtful, just say so. Micah and Chelsea were both dating Kwame in the pods, and Micah dumped Kwame. But in true mean girl fashion, she still wanted to one-up Chelsea at every single opportunity.
Baby, what's up? Give me
a little, when you're done with that conversation,
yeah.
a little block and ship.
I got you.
Mommy, me and Micah would love to tequila shots and salt. Would you grab us some?
Oh, would you? That's great. You should get off of the floaty and get it yourself.
Micah and Irina both were just genuinely unlikable people, at least as it pertains to this show. Because even though they're supposed to be pod besties and that's my best friend, go best friend, Irina also went behind Micah's back and was plotting on her man because she found him attractive. But you know what? At least Irina did acknowledge that she did that, but she still did it nonetheless to somebody who's supposed to be her best friend. Micah, on the other hand, was totally on board with being mean to everybody else until Irina turned on her. And all of a sudden it was, I had to check her. She was trying to come after my man.
I was like, you know, Irina, at some point you have to look at a situation and be like, when there's, 15, 30 people that are all feeling the same way about you, at some point you have to realize maybe it's you, not them.
But it's like, girl, you sat there and you talked shit with her. We didn't forget that. And at the reunion, Irina tried to blame it on anxiety, which I have anxiety diagnosed. Y'all just be using y'all, mental health issues or mental health struggles as excuses some of the time, for real. Y'all really do. Even though she kept saying she's not trying to, but she kept saying, I had a lot of anxiety, but I'm not trying to use that as an excuse, but I had a lot. Pick one. Do you have it or you're not using it as an excuse? Which one is it? Now, on to the main villain of this season, which we honestly should have seen coming. Because after Micah made a fool of herself in front of Kwame, she was right there laughing. And that person is Jackie.
I love me some Chelsea and everything, but I'm pretty sure Micah doesn't want your man. Because if she wanted him, she would have had him. Shorty.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I agree.
She said that her issue with Marshall was that he wasn't aggressive enough. And look, I get it. She like a little hood in her manner. Maybe not even a little hood. Maybe just a little bit more je ne sais quoi. You know, if you get it, you get it. But my thing is, she knew that Marshall wasn't that type of person from the pod. So expecting that she was going to turn him into some like more aggressive type of man, that's not him. Stop trying to change him. You knew that from jump. And so because of that, you should have never moved forward with him. Y'all should have never made it out the pods together. Jackie kept claiming to be the realest.
Irina's Irina, the peasant. I don't mean like old English peasantry type. I mean someone who's just a weirdo, someone who just does dumb shit for no reason. I don't like that. That's just not how I roll. That's not my steez.
But in reality, she was very shady and calculated. She tried to say that Marshall was effeminate, but I didn't really see that. He just wasn't an asshole. Not being aggressive in the manner that she wanted him to be aggressive doesn't make him an effeminate man. It just means that he wasn't the man for her.
I'm not saying that we're having a conversation
100% of the time.
So what are you telling me then?
Who you clapping at?
You! In your face!
You're not clapping at me. You better fix it.
Is that not me being aggressive?
You better fix it.
But he was a protector. And being a protector is a trait that most women would say that they find attractive in a man. And she still didn't like him.
It's gonna ruin my outfit.
It took me, but you're not about to catch a cold though.
I'll be fine.
Put this around your shoulders.
I'll be fine. You're ruining my body.
Girl, put this around your shoulders.
She knew she didn't like him and she still waited till wedding dress day to not show up. And then she instead decided to go run off with Josh. And then they were both too scared to show up to the reunion in person. So they did a Zoom call. Not only did they do a Zoom call, they did a pre-recorded Zoom call the day before the actual filming of the reunion. So nobody could even ask them questions in person because they were too afraid to face the music. Both of them wanted to act all season like they were these two tough people. You know, we're rough and tough. We have this hard hood. And I don't know what they were trying to pretend to be, but it wasn't given. And then they didn't show up to the reunion because they didn't want to be faced with questions that they knew they were going to get and that they knew the audience was asking and they knew cast members would ask. And they knew that Marshall deserved that closure and they didn't give it to him. And this is one thing I will say, and I think everyone else shares this sentiment as well. Vanessa Lachey went way too easy on them during that reunion. When you watch the reunion, I obviously can't post their whole segment of the reunion here, but watching it back, you could tell that it was very cut up. And it's easy to tell, right? Because it's a Zoom call, so it doesn't flow the same way as cutting up a full production. It flows very much like you cut up a Zoom call. You can tell where the cuts are. I think maybe they were asked some questions and they just didn't want to answer them, or they just didn't want them to be seen by the public. And so they chopped and screwed that little interview up and we got nothing because essentially they could have not come on at all. We didn't even need to play that little video. It gave us nothing. And if that's not the case and she didn't ask them anything, then Vanessa went way too easy. And matter of fact, I think Netflix overall went too easy on them because they should have made them show up to the reunion. I don't know if that's in the contract or not. I don't know if, you know, it should be. You should have to show up because if you're going to be as terrible as they were that entire season, you should have to come up and you should have to answer for yourself. And you should want to. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. But I feel like you should have to. Something is interesting though. She said that the footage during the show was cut in reverse, meaning that she broke up with Marshall before she met with Josh. But during the breakup, she said, I just saw Josh.
I broke up with Marshall before I saw Josh at the coffee shop. It looks like I'm a cheater and I am not a cheater.
I'm attracted to Josh. I just saw Josh. And there is some chemistry.
So what was the talk about?
It was him basically confessing his feelings.
What are you saying to me right now?
I don't want to be with you anymore.
So I don't really know what the truth or the lie was, but we'll never know because they didn't show up to the reunion. Let's move on to season 5. I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but did this season not have the most forgettable group of people? When I was watching this back, I was like, did I even watch this damn season? If it weren't for Uche, I wouldn't even know that I watched this season because these people were so forgettable that I literally did not remember watching it. It's only because his name is so unique that I was like, oh, I've heard that name before, that I knew I watched season 5. I thought I had skipped a season. This season had a few villains, but also at the same time felt bland. I don't know. I can't really explain it. So Johnny is definitely headlining the villains for the season. I absolutely think that she played Chris, and watching this season back, I felt really, really sad for him. She very clearly didn't want him in the pods. I think a lot of the times when we see love triangles, the person that's at the top of the triangle, you know, and is dating the two other people, genuinely does have feelings for both of the people, and so the decision is actually quite hard. In Johnny's situation, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that she genuinely liked Chris. At least not by the time she was choosing. I think she heard Izzy, really started to like Izzy, forgot about Chris, and then when Izzy chose someone else, she ran back to Chris and was like, actually, I think it was you the whole time. And it's like, it wasn't, girl, but okay, go off.
Izzy ended things with me,
Yeah.
but I kind of wanted to discuss what happened with us because I'm like still trying to pursue something with you.
I think she's one of those people who wanted to leave the pods engaged by any means necessary, and so she was going to say yes no matter who it was. And then she lied to both of them about why she chose the other or didn't choose the other. And when Izzy didn't choose her, she started saying his credit was bad and all this stuff.
Izzy told me he had a bad credit score. He just signed a lease somewhere else. Like, he doesn't seem ready for commitment.
But girl, you just wanted him a second ago, bad credit and all. But she was right though, his credit was bad and he does 50-50. Ew.
Like, I like to do 50-50. So like kind of just do it together.
What about at dinner?
I guess it just depends.
No.
Huh?
What?
What?
Dinner's not 50-50. The man pays.
Why?
Secondly, I of course think Lydia was a villain of this season. Part of me even questions if that whole relationship that she had with Aaliyah was real or not. Or if she did it to have the exact outcome that she got, which was Aaliyah left and didn't get her ex. If you don't recall, Lydia and Uche dated pre-pods. And Uche accused her of actually only signing up for the show because she found out that he had signed up for the show. Lydia befriended Aaliyah in the pods. And when I say befriended, I mean they were literally two peas in a pod. They were besties in the pods. They were crying with each other. They had shared all their thoughts with each other. The whole time, obviously, Lydia knew that Aaliyah was getting close to Uche, her in real life ex, and didn't say anything. Granted, she said she was waiting for Uche to tell her. Okay, I get it. You didn't want to be the one to do it. You wanted her man to be the one to do it. Okay. But once Aaliyah did know, once Uche did tell her, Lydia took that opportunity to tell Aaliyah every little detail about Uche. Oh, girl, this is what his house looks like. Oh, girl, this is what car he drives. Oh, girl, he's this, he's that. This is Love is Blind. Why are you telling this woman everything about this man? She doesn't want to know. And that's the really messed up part, is that Aaliyah said multiple times, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know anything about him. I'm trying to get to know him. And Lydia just kept popping off and popping off and popping. Ooh, let me tell you this, girl.
Anything that you want to know?
No, I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know anything.
Gone to a couple of events with his friends. I just don't want to know that though. Oh, his house is dope.
Yeah. I really didn't want to know too much.
It's like a 3-level house. He told you he drives a Tesla?
No.
It's not funny, girl. She didn't want to know that. And I do think that she did it on purpose to get in Aaliyah's head. And when all was said and done, she did get into Aaliyah's head. And Aaliyah was like, I can't really handle this experiment with all this stuff. And she left. She left without even saying bye to Uche. And of course, that ruined their relationship. But again, I think that was by design. I think that's what Lydia wanted. Uche described her as possessive, and I could see it. Uche had accused Lydia of stalking his friends on Instagram and watching their stories and all of this stuff.
They're sending me screenshots of your profile and saying this girl has been watching my stories for weeks. But you're looking at their stories.
I don't know Instagram's algorithm.
Now at the reunion, the cast seemed to be pretty upset with Uche. I don't believe he showed up to the reunion, but the cast seemed to be pretty upset with him because they felt like he was spreading this false narrative about Lydia. But something about what he said, and I might be in the minority about this, but something about what he said has a ring of truth to it, to me. I think she might have did that stuff. And I think she was playing nice on the show. And I also think she was dragging Milton away because she didn't want him to know about her life before the pods. She was trying to play goody two-shoes. After the very forgettable cast of season 5, season 6 had to come through and say, y'all not ever gonna forget us. It was a bit hard to choose a villain for season 6 because so much happened this season that, oh, it was just crazy. Now y'all might want me to say Clay, and I'm with you, but at the same time, I think it was very clear the whole season that Clay was playing AD's face. The only person who didn't see it was AD.
Hey, AD, get in that motherfucking gym.
You would not talk to me like that.
I would say if you were out of shape, I would tell you.
That way though?
You will be determined to go if I said it that way.
There was a moment in time where I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, but I think that, like she said, saw a red flag and painted her nails red to go with it. So I'm not even gonna mention him, because was he really a villain, or was AD just painting her nails red? Because never forget that Ken, Chelsea, and Sarah Ann were in this same season. Yeah, do those names ring a bell? All these people were in the same season with Clay. This was the season that Bean Dip happened. This season was a hot mess. Chelsea, of course, made the infamous Megan Fox comment.
Do you ever get told you look like a celebrity? All the time on the plane, I get one person. And it's just because I have dark hair and blue eyes.
Megan Fox? You saying you look like Megan Fox?
But that's not even why she's a villain. That's just her being ridiculous. But she also accused Jimmy of spinning AD around and looking at her body. He didn't do that. He did grab her hand and kind of put it up, but he didn't spin her like she was saying. There was also a point in time when she told her friends that Jimmy hadn't kissed her all day, and her friends were like, oh, how dare he? And then when she talked to Jimmy about it, he was like, I kissed you multiple times today. Multiple times. She was like, oh, you did? Sorry.
He hasn't kissed me once today.
What?
Mm-hmm. What?
I did kiss you today, though.
This morning?
I kissed you when you were in the bathroom getting ready.
Did you?
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Kissed you on your cheek, and then before your friends came over, before my last meeting of the day, I kissed you like right here.
Jimmy had a really close group of girlfriends that Chelsea knew about, and you know, they were his best friends. Off cam, Jimmy did admit to her that he had one sexual encounter with one of those friends. I think it was very admirable that he told her off camera, because that was her business to know. She had a right to know as his future wife that sexual relationship did take place. But he brought it up off cam to respect his friend, because his friend didn't want to be in the middle of the mess. His friend didn't sign up to be on Love is Blind. She is just a character in his life, and so she showed up on the show, but she didn't sign up to be in this drama. Chelsea then went behind Jimmy's back and behind his friend's back and said, you fucked her, you told me you did. And he's like, I told you that in confidence because you had a right to know as my future wife. I didn't bring that up on camera out of respect for my friend. And she's like, I know, but I'm upset.
And I'm really sorry that I brought it up on cameras when you asked me not to protect your reputation, but it was my feelings. I want to get married to you, and I needed to bring it up.
It isn't my reputation. I don't care about it. It's hers that I care about. That's messed up for any future guy that she has anything with or anything she wants.
I know. Sorry, you guys had a little secret little love triangle.
Exactly. Like that makes me reluctant to tell you things, and that's a true problem.
And it was always just about Chelsea. And I think for a little bit of the time, not as extreme as this, but it was kind of like the Zanab and Cole situation. We all thought at first maybe Jimmy is the one that's wrong, but as the season goes on, you start to realize, oh no, it's really Chelsea that's the one. She's the one that's highly insecure and taking her insecurities out on everyone around her. Now, when it comes to Ken didn't like Brittany from jump, and he knew that he didn't. There was a lot of conversation around Ken's sexuality. He never brought it up, so I'ma just put that to the wayside. My personal opinions on it are my personal opinions on it. And whatever. It's neither here nor there because it didn't come up. I know we are all phone addicted, but the way that he ran to his phone the second that he got it back and spent the next 11 hours on his phone was ridiculous. I also had that moment where he got super excited about the Dolphins, but could not be less excited to be around Brittany.
Which one was before? We should have did that.
And when they got back home and Brittany brought up, hey, I feel like you're being distant, like you've been on your phone a lot, we're not really communicating like we were before, he had the nerve to tell her that she needed to give him grace. See, this is the problem. Y'all done allowed therapeutic helping mechanisms to come onto social media, and now everybody overuses them. I talk about people overusing the word gaslight, people overuse manipulation, people severely overuse the word narcissist, okay? And Kenneth was on here overusing the phrase, give me grace, because that's not something she should have gave you grace about. You should want to spend, y'all are in the newlywed or the honeymoon phase. Literally, y'all just left the honeymoon. Y'all should still be in the honeymoon phase. You're saying you're on your phone because you're a principal. Okay, everybody else has lives to get back to too. You're on your phone for a while. He also woke her up in the middle of the night at like 1 or 2 a.m. and his excuse was, well, I just want you to tell me good night.
Oh, let's talk about you waking me up last night. Let's speak on that.
at 1:30 a.m. in the morning
I did.
with all the lights on. It's like, I know good and well this man is not making me get up right now.
They say goodnight, you know, that's all I wanted.
You wake me up out of my sleep to tell me goodnight, it's gonna be a bad night. He also broke up with her after what I would consider a fairly minor argument in the grand scheme of things and told her it just wasn't gonna work out. He never planned for it to work out, and that's because he wasn't attracted to her. Point blank period. I do think that the biggest villain of the season, though, was Sarah Ann. She dated Jeremy in the pods, but Jeremy ultimately decided to get engaged to Laura. But as the season went on, Sarah Ann kept creeping back into the picture. There was a night where they all went out. Laura didn't go out, but Jeremy did with some other members of the pod or whatever, a group of friends. Sarah Ann was at the bar. Him and Sarah Ann end up shooting the shit in her car after the bar. They talked things over because they never got to have closure, you know, after the pods. And then he claims he took her home, dropped her off at home. He says he didn't go in. He says nothing ever happened in the car. She says the same thing. And we'll never know, but the jury's still out on that.
We hung back and we talked about things.
You hung back with Sarah Ann and was talking till 5 a.m.
Yes.
Regardless of if anything happened or not, people viewed Sarah Ann as a homewrecker because of the way that she moved after that. And there was a DM that she had sent Jeremy that was like, hey, I'm still here, oh, like basically that. The door is still open if things don't work out with Laura. At the time when I did my commentary, I said that I don't view Sarah Ann as the villain for sending that DM, because the way that it happened was she sent it immediately after leaving the pod. So for her, she's going back to the real world. She has all these big feelings. She sends the DM. I had an unpopular opinion. My opinion was, in any other circumstance, if an ex was DMing an engaged man saying the door is still open, she's a sneaky snake. But in the context and the confines of Love is Blind, I don't think it was a big deal that she sent him that DM. But I had to put her in this video because I know that everybody else views her as a villain. In my personal, humble opinion, I don't think she is a villain. I don't think Laura and Jeremy were gonna work out regardless. But I do understand why people view her as the villain, and so because I understand why, yes, I will put her on the list. On to season 7. Now, season 7 brought us our first baby daddy drama, so I think it's very clear on who the villain of this season is. Tyler came on this show with 3 whole children that he didn't bring up in the pods and didn't bring up until pretty significantly after the pods. After the honeymoon, once they already moved into their apartment, is when he decided to bring up these children. He lied about how they came into this world, saying it was through some type of sperm donation, when it turns out that they were conceived the natural way. From last I heard, correct me if I'm wrong. He lied about having a relationship with them.
Do the kids know what you look like?
I don't think so.
Whole time he had matching Christmas pajamas with these kids. Then at the reunion, Ashley was out here looking ridiculous, talking about my man.
Who do you think has better insight on what's going on, social media or me? So for people to imply that like she was blindsided, she didn't know, is like insulting to my intelligence.
No, girl, because you still didn't know until after the pods, and you still didn't know until after the honeymoon. So really, we all found out at the same damn time. If you want to talk about timeline, as far as us viewing it and you finding out, yeah, we all found out together. By the time the reunion came around, they had gotten their story together.
I did help a friend and her wife start a family, but her wife ended up leaving her and left her high and dry. This was my very close friend. So I voluntarily stepped in and helped. So there's pictures of me around. You'll see me around. I've spent holidays with all my friends, you know, all their kids. And I played a part that became very shaky with a friend.
And I'm gonna be real, and I hate to say this and I hate to see this because they're both black women and I'm rooting for everybody black, but Ashley really did remind me of AD in the sense that you found out on the show that this man was playing in your face and you let him continue to play in your face, basically. And you got up there and defended him. I don't know that AD went as far as defending Clay at the reunion. She probably did, child. But I don't really think she went as hard for him as Ashley did for Tyler. Granted, Ashley and Tyler did end up saying I do. I don't think they're together anymore. But they did end up saying I do. So in her mind, she's defending her husband. But baby girl, some men are not worth defending. So for me, it's kind of like don't save her. She don't want to be saved type thing. That's why I say I see AD and Ashley. It's okay to let that man go, girl. It's okay to let that man go. This should have been wrapped up before the altar, if not by the altar. So I really have to add another villain because in my opinion, is he really a villain if you already knew he was bad and you didn't do anything about it? And no one is more fitting to be another villain in this season than Hannah. She played in Nick's face the entire time. He wasn't her type from jump. She knew that.
Look-wise, like I definitely go for like the really big, like jockey guy, like 6'5", handsome, best looking guy in the room.
But that's not really the issue. Like I said, physical attraction matters. If you're not physically attracted to someone, that's fine. But she then treated Nick like crap the entire season because of it. Now, if you've seen my commentary before, you know that I actually support people staying the entire duration of the experiment. I think that unless it's a severe case, you should stay the full length of the experiment and just say no at the altar because, in my opinion, that's what the experiment was designed to do. The experiment wasn't designed to meet someone at the reveal and decide that you don't like them and leave. It's designed to try to see if love is blind and if you can make it to the altar and if you develop feelings and if you can say yes. So because I'm a rule follower and I'm just like, make it the length of the experiment. However, after 9 seasons, I did have to start bending that rule a little bit. There are some extreme cases where you know it's never gonna happen, and so you do need to cut the cord early. Hannah should have been the one to do that. She openly berated and belittled this man the entire time. Then there was the whole duck situation.
What are these swans over there?
I mean, I told you I want to take one of them for a ride.
Oh God, Nick, don't do it. I can't look. So give me the ick.
Why does that give you the ick? What about that?
Him riding things makes me feel uncomfortable.
She talked down on him about how much more money she made than him. And she told him that in the 3 weeks of knowing him, she had taught him everything he knows and she turned him, well, what she tried to say was she turned him from a boy into a man, but what she actually ended up saying was, I turned you into a boy into a man.
Mature enough at this age.
Are you mature enough, Nick? Because I taught you fucking everything that you fucking know. I turned you into a boy into a fucking man. I literally have done everything for you.
Into a boy to a man.
It is fucking hilarious when someone's trying to tell you off and they mess their words up. You just get to laugh like, girl, you turned him into a boy into a man? That don't even make sense. Girl, if you ain't like him, just say that. It's okay. But treating him like garbage actually makes you look terrible. And if I'm being real, I think that situation, or I should say Hannah's personality, runs a lot deeper than just not liking Nick. Because it turns out that she treated her brother that way as well. And so I'm inclined to believe that she just doesn't like men. Actually, she said that.
Do you love Hannah?
Yeah. Have you ever been in love?
No, I hate men.
Me too. Except for Nick.
You still hate me, but as long as you love me, that's fine.
I hate to love you, babe.
And so the proof is in the pudding. On to season 8. Choosing a villain for this season was, I don't want to say hard, but compared to all of the other seasons that we've just spoken about, the villain in this season was barely a villain. This in a way was another season that was kind of boring. I don't remember this season really kicking off until like midway. However, if forced to choose a villain, I would have to say Dave. I mean, off top, the name David is a red flag and I will not be elaborating further. He said himself that in the past he had treated women badly, and we don't know how far back that past goes, right? He also was a self-admitted lover of fillers and Botox and other cosmetic work done on women.
I'm surrounded by Botox, fillers, facelifts, tummy tucks, butt lifts. That has affected me in terms of what a woman should look like.
And so knowing that you're superficial like that, I don't understand why you would come on a show called Love is Blind where you don't get to see if the woman is going to have fillers and all that kind of stuff. I also believe that Dave was just a good old-fashioned misogynist. He told Lauren that she was in or near her 30s, so she needed to hurry up and get married because she was getting old.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. So you're no longer attractive.
And clearly, I think it was very obvious that she was too normal for him. She even said, oh, Dave in the pods insinuated that he goes after women who are really hot, and I don't know if I fall into that category. And so I think she was too normal for him. She was too plain Jane for him. And let me clarify this, because I think that Lauren is a beautiful woman. I just don't think that someone who likes fillers and Botox is gonna like a woman like Lauren. Someone who likes fillers and Botox will not like a woman like me because I don't get any work done. That's not saying that I'm not beautiful. That's because let's not play games. That's not saying that Lauren isn't beautiful. It's saying that someone who likes that type of stuff is not going to be attracted to someone who looks like me or someone who looks like Lauren, because there's no fillers, there's no Botox. And if you like that look, then you like that look. It's a very specific type of person who looks like that. During the reveal, Dave didn't even remember to take the ring out of the box. He was so unattracted to her. That's how I viewed it. He also didn't discuss the future with her, and he thought that that was a good thing for some reason. And at the end, he ended up getting out of that relationship before the altar, and he did it in a way that made it look like it was her fault. Someone, a friend of a friend of a friend, ended up telling Dave's sister that Lauren had a boyfriend right before she went into the pods, and they were hooking up right before the pods and all this stuff.
I start getting messages that you had been seeing this guy for not only like a couple dates, like a couple months, and that my friends know him well. Sounds like they were in the same frat with him in college.
It came out during the reunion that that actually wasn't true. The person, the friend of a friend of a friend who said that, basically just wanted to get clout off of being on Love is Blind. And so it turned out that the whole reason that their relationship broke down for real, because she was dating someone before the pods, wasn't even true. I think it all worked out for Dave in the end because he did want it out, but it turned out that that wasn't even like a truthful statement. Last but not least, we have season 9. Season 9 is gonna be infamous. It goes down as the biggest flop of the Love is Blind franchise. Not a single couple got married at the end of this season. And I also think that there were a lot of people in the running for villain. But it is going to be a tie between Nick and Casey. Now you might be thinking, why is Casey a villain? She dropped out before. That's what you want her to do. Yeah, but she didn't even drop out properly. She didn't even break up with Patrick properly. Y'all remember, this season is fresh. She was hopping all over the man saying, I do love you, I just can't. But I do. No. Oh, kiss me. What are we doing? Break up with this man for real so we can move this forward. But she couldn't even break up properly. She don't even get the credit for breaking up with him because she didn't officially do it.
Yeah, I just can't do it. Yeah, you're good. It's okay. I'll see you back in Denver. Don't be sorry.
I was like, I'm gonna break his heart, and that's just not what I want.
You're not gonna break my heart to not go to Baja. It doesn't gonna break my heart. Breaking my heart is breaking my heart. It's gonna just be too much pressure. Let's go back home. We'll have a lot of fun though. Okay.
No, I can't. Like, I love you so much, and I feel. No.
You're good. I love you too. You're good. Okay.
He fully left that thinking that they were still going to try outside of the show. And to top it all off, at the reunion, she participated in this dumb-ass basketball free throw nonsense, and he had to give the ring back to her, which he shouldn't have given it back, and she shouldn't have accepted it. It was stupid. Yeah, she's a villain.
Once and for all, Casey gets the ring.
I'll give it back to her in Denver.
Right now, we're gonna see it. Right now.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Patrick. Oh my God.
It's still too fresh. Why were they playing basketball for the ring? What are we doing? I hope we never see no nonsense like that again. Anyway, so yes, she's one of the villains because she couldn't even execute the breakup properly, and she was wiping her snot all on the man. Shout out to I Be Chillin'. My brain automatically doesn't pay attention to stuff like that because I think it's gross. Like, I don't like seeing saliva. I don't like seeing snot and stuff. I think most people can agree with that. And so my brain just like won't register it. But his brain did, and he was like, she more than once rubbed just toddler style, just ew, gross. So yeah, she's a villain just for spreading her germs like that. And then Nick is also a villain of this season because I wholeheartedly believe that Nick was playing in everybody's face on this show. And I'm not gonna say much, but what I am gonna say is that Nick needs to revisit that conversation that he had with his mom when he was a teenager.
There was a time in high school that I was pretty depressed. My mom, she's hilarious. She comes down and is like, Nick, I want to talk to you about something. And she's like, do you ever feel like... I'm like, Mom, are you asking me if I'm gay? And she's like, looked at me and I'm like, oh my gosh, no.
Because y'all will never convince me that this man is not at least bi. And I don't care. Nobody cares that he's bisexual or whatever it is. But you can come out and say it, like, it's not a big deal. And don't get me wrong, Annie and her wig were a lot to deal with, but she also didn't deserve to have someone who was playing in her face. When I conceptualized this video, I was sitting here like, am I really about to watch 7 or 8 seasons back to back? And even as I started watching season 1, I was like, am I really watching this season? Am I really about to watch all these seasons over? And when I was scripting the video, I was like, damn, I really sat there and watched all those seasons. And now that I'm recording it, which I think this will go down as my longest video thus far, I'm really sitting here like, damn, I really sat there and watched all those seasons. So I really hope y'all like this video because, like I said, labor of love, and I don't know, I just felt like season 10 needed something special, you know? We're 10 seasons in, that's crazy. 10 seasons, 6 years, because I believe the show came out in 2020, so 6 years, ooh. Jesus. 6 years, 10 seasons, I think it deserves something special to go on the channel. So that's why we're here. I'm gonna try to get this up when I get it up. You'll see it when you see it, but I'm gonna get it up at some point. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to edit it because it's probably quite long. Oh Lord, this video gonna be long. Ooh, y'all ain't even gonna see all this, so I might as well just stop talking. Y'all ain't watching all the way. Some of y'all might. Put me on in the background. I know y'all be doing that. Let me know what you think of my new mic. You know, I'm a Rode ambassador. I'm not, but they really should sponsor me because, like, low key, my handheld mic is a Rode. This is a Rode. I'm just Rode out. I love Rode. If you did make it this far, then next week I'm also gonna have a 10 season anniversary video coming out. Next week I'm gonna be doing fan favorite couples. Keep in mind this is fan favorite couples, so not every season had a fan favorite, so I'm picking the ones that I've heard in the zeitgeist people be excited about. So yeah. Shadow, you want to say hi to the guys for the new year? Y'all got him for a split second because he was annoyed. Say hi, guys. Say something to the mic. Please speak into the mic, sir. And anything else? And your closing statements? Okay, thank you for interviewing with us today. Come back next week or I'm going to be talking about fan favorites and we'll get into it. And until then, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye! What you doing? You better not, because I know you got hay in there. You better calm down. You want something to bite on, you have your toy right there. You're a mean girl, Katie. You're a bitch. It's a good movie. I'm still here. Oh, I'm still here. What's the man name? Tyler. I didn't want to say hi to. He don't love y'all for real. I don't love y'all for real. Come say hi, guy. They want to see you. They love you. Come on, hang out with the guys.